Now, again, 100 grand's a lot of money. It's also not billions. So for 100 grand,
So for 100 grand, you got a congressman to
we got
help
multiple.
write or support.
We got multiple. I mean, we had people in the Senate. We had multiple congressional people on the House of Representatives side.
Each of them were 100, or just
No.
all
In
together?
total,
Well,
because you
look
can
at
only
you.
give $3,300 per election cycle as an individual. You can only give $3,300 to a
Unless you
candidate.
develop the PAC, which
Unless you go through a
PAC,
PAC, right? But we were doing this all individually. So it was me, the CEO, and then the chief operating officer. All three of us were writing personal checks because it wasn't company money; it was personal money. And
To make sure we have an attorney to run through this to make sure you're not outing yourself on anything.
on
here.
any election campaign fraud,
Like they'd come for you. Republican from South Dakota, pretty sure you're safe.
I'm okay.
You're
I'm
fine.
okay. But we were,
Ready to run for office.
writing out personal checks, and the lobbyist was hand delivering them to the right people, saying, "Hey, you should get to know these guys." And they were drafting legislation that this was the genius of it. We were going to say we're not going to get rid of the tax stamp. What we're going to do is we're going to set $200 for the tax stamp at that time. Just went into the black abyss of the U.S. Treasury, never to be seen again.
Yep. General fund. See ya.
What we said was, hey, let's take that $200 and put it to conservation through the Robert Pittman Act. So if you're a sportsman, 11% of every gun, ammunition goes to this Robert Pittman. It goes into wildlife and hunting conservation.
Yeah.
Let's take that $200 and put that into wildlife conservation, because then no one's ever going to want to get rid of this because it's going to be taking money away from conservation. Genius. No, it'll kind of insulate us even further. Fast forward, I left that organization. They got outed. Someone found out what they were up to. And it was like, it was like their Bud Light moment, because all these Second Amendment people were like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We thought you were on our side advocating for access to guns. And here the whole time you were trying to
Playing both sides.
keep it constricted. Right.
Yeah.
So it was a fascinating, really fun to watch once you left from arm's length. You're like, look at those assholes over there. What the hell were they thinking?
What they were doing.
But my point, though, in that story is, we were a relatively small firearm manufacturer from the upper Midwest. And we had, for our niche, what our important issue was, we had the attention of everybody that we needed to for 100 grand and influence. And so again, 100 grand's a lot of money. I don't want to sound like a complete asshole. And when you're talking about, well, here's a figure for you. In the presidential election, $24 billion was spent.
It's stupid.
100 grand compared to 24 billion is nothing. And that's my point, is these people are a lot more accessible to the average person than most people.
So in this example, so I love it. I think it's good. And it doesn't, I don't want to say it bothers me, because it doesn't bother me. Here's the point that I try to bring up is, in that scenario, that I'll call it a scheme. It wasn't illegal. It's not, I mean, if it's going to be a law, right?
Well, to your point of the public good, it benefited nobody but our own company.